And on today, guess what? We are reviewing another book. So this book is coming in from Craig Samuels. So Craig Samuels, this one is for you. So it was already kind of opened up a little bit, but that's okay. He double wrapped it. Good job, good job. And so double wrapped it and put it in this black wrapping. Now y'all know I love some color wrapping, and so one place that you can actually go to get some really nice bubble wrap and colored wrap is going to be uline.com. Now Uline is not paying me no money for this, but I just want to just go ahead and shout them out anyway. So uline.com. Anyways, let's go ahead and open up this book. Oh, it looks like it's a bag. All right, this is your shopping bag. I see you, Craig. Okay, so, oh, it's nice too, because it like, you know, it's a nice little bag. It labels up, okay. And like, you can seal it up. So, okay, cute. All right, so anyways, we're going to open this baby up. Boom. All right, so let's get into this. So the first thing, let me show you guys the cover. Here you go. The cover. Here's the back. All right, so first things first, just without even looking at this, I can tell you, Craig, this back cover words, I don't tell who is reading this. These words are small, baby. Let me tell you something. In my good age of 40 plus, I can't read. And I got pretty decent eyesight. Like, I still ain't wearing no glasses. So Craig, you know, I love this, but I'm gonna want you to work on this font size. Can we make it a little bit bigger? But without, you know, on a serious note, let's get into this. So the title is called Misery and the Company It Keeps. And it said the kind of company misery loves to keep. So first things first, I like to make sure I use my real estate right. Okay. So you already have in the title misery and the company it keeps. So for this subtitle that is at the top, so you see y'all, the subtitle that is at the top, you don't really need to add that again. You already said it. You already said the kind of company misery loves to keep. You already said that in the title. What I would like to know, Craig, is what are we talking about in this book? So is this a story about how you were able to overcome what? What misery was it? Who was it that, you know, who, et cetera, et cetera. So your subtitle is designed to give a better insight as to what this book is about, not literally repeat, if that makes sense, what the title is. So I would love for you to update the title and give us a little bit more understanding. So this is a book about how I was able to XYZ. This is a book about overcoming XYZ, thus and that. Does that make sense? So hopefully that makes sense. So let's work on that subtitle. Now, I love the cover itself, but I will tell you that the picture itself is a little bit pixelated. Okay. Now I'm telling y'all, I'm going to keep it all the way real. My goal is that you sell books. And so when I see a book and it's pixelated, I'm going to immediately look at it as this is not professionally done. So let me zoom in so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So you can't really see it too much, but if you look a little bit, it looks a little like the letter, her fingers are fuzzy. Now, I get it that in the back on the left side, it is designed to kind of blur out, but it's still very much so pixelated. So I would love for you to have a better high resolution image, even if it fades out, but I want it to be crispy. And so a really good place that you can go to get quality images is literally everywhere. I mean, at this point, Canva will even give you a high resolution image. And so it needs to be a 300 DPI. So whoever designed this cover, you want to let them know I need a 300 DPI. I don't want it to be blurry. Okay. Because right now it does look a little bit blurry, and I get it. Maybe that's, you know, you were going for the blur look, but even in blur, it can still be crispy. Okay. Written by Craig D. Samuels. Awesome. Now, again, on the back cover, these words are very, very small. And so I would highly encourage you to get this up, right? Another great thing I will tell you, Craig, is that you've got plenty of space. You've got space up here. Now, let me tell you, just like I always tell you with every single back cover, I would want to start off with what I call qualifier questions. The reason is because have y'all ever watched a commercial, right? And the first thing they say, are you suffering from? Did you have this? Are you dealing with? Those are what are called qualifier questions, and they're designed to grab the attention of the potential customer. Okay. You want to grab the attention. That's why people flip a book over, because they want to know what it is about. So we don't want to just start it off, because it looks like right here you have a quote or something like that from Baba Imhotep, right? And so I would still want to include that, but we need to put that a little bit further down. Also, in the portion where it says, like, Craig Samuels exposed a very sensitive area of human thinking in his book titled Misery and the Company It Keeps. This is great. And this is actually pretty good. Again, it's just very small. And so it makes it difficult for people to read. I don't care how great their eyesight is. If you make something difficult for a person, they just not going to do it. So I would want you to go ahead and maybe make it bigger. If it means that you need to remove a few words, that's fine. All you need to have is a quick synopsis of what this book is about. Like, when you read this, you're going to learn how to do X, Y, Z, thus and that. And then you do have some details about yourself. I love the picture. Can we give it up for Craig for having a professional? Come on, y'all. Look at him. I see you. Come on, King. A professional. He went into a whole studio, y'all, and took a picture. He did not take it with his phone. And I'm going to tell you, some of y'all authors out here, y'all be having camera phone pictures on your cover that you know that is here to impact and change the world. So we cannot have camera phone pictures on our cover. We need to go into a studio and get a professional photographer. So thank you, Craig. But if you look at your picture compared to the front, you can see the difference. Like, your picture is crispy, okay? That's what we want. And so you have here like a little bit of a bio about yourself, which is perfect. You didn't put too much. You put just enough. That is great. Another thing, y'all know I'm always talking about this. There's no contact information. There's nothing on here to show how can we get in touch with you. Guys, remember, this is real estate here, and somebody may not own this book, but how are they going to be able to buy the book? So you want to make sure that you're sending them to a custom domain, not a forwarded domain, like a third-party domain. If you are selling your book on Amazon, and you know I tell y'all to stop selling on Amazon, but we're not going to get into that on this. Even if you are, you need to purchase a custom domain and forward it to that page. Do not list a domain that you don't own, because we don't know down the line how they might change the domain. So go to GoDaddy.com or wherever it is that you like to buy your domains, purchase one and forward it so that people can know where to purchase your book. Now, on the inside, he went with the off-white print, the off-white pages. I know y'all really can't tell too much, but that is what more. This is kind of like the more traditional style inside of a book. So it looks great. And the formatting, Craig, let me tell you, this formatting looks phenomenal. Let me show you how it looks, y'all, on the inside. It looks so good. It looks so good. And by the way, this book is 113 pages. Honestly, this is a great size book too. I wouldn't even add anything. I love the layout of it. I love how you have different quotes and things like that that pop out. This is really good. Really, really, really good. Now, let's talk about this. So let me see. How much does your help cost? I want to get a brief synopsis of what this book is about. This is definitely, I can tell on the inside, it was definitely professionally done, formatted and everything. Great job on that. But let's just see here. I'm going to go through now there is no introduction unless identifying the why is the introduction. I'm not sure. So we've all heard, yeah, you just go straight into chapter 1. So maybe having an intro, let me tell you why. Because majority of most people, when they buy a book, or if they're making a decision, the first thing they're going to look for is the intro. They don't want to just dive straight into it. They want to get an idea. Well, what is this book? You know, if I could, like, you've already earned me on the back, but now let me get into the introduction. And one of the things that I like to also include in my introductions when I'm writing them for my books is why I decided to write this book, and also giving the reader instruction as well as some additional details on bonuses and things like that that they can give. Now, I'm not going to get into what I like to call the redirect. Okay, this is a training that I teach our Book Profits Club students when you're creating your book, redirecting your reader to bonus information. But I will tell you, you definitely want to make sure that you can, if you can, update and add an introduction, tell the reader what they can expect from the book, why you decide to write the book, and also some instructions on like what you want them to do. I always tell them, highlight the book, get some highlighters, read it twice, and then make sure to reach out to me, right? So have that introduction. Now let's see here. Coping mechanisms. I'm gonna see what you do. Let's see. Native of Flint, Michigan. In addition to his literary competence, the ghostwriter, counselor, relationship consultant, mentor, and public speaker. So I would love to know, what do you like to speak on? Like, how do you want to transform lives specifically, right? It says he's an advocate for the underdog, lending his powerful voice to the voiceless, strength to the weak, to the sole purpose of empowering. Misery of the company it keeps. Okay, so misery in the company it keeps deep into the heart and minds of people who are mentally and emotionally injured. So let's just pretend and that you are in the space of working with mental wellness, right? First of all, I love it when I see men get into the space of mental wellness, because of course, as we know, this is a topic that is so needed, right? But more than likely, it tends to be women that get into the space of mental wellness. So being a man in the space, if you are doing that, and even if you're targeting men, women as well, but as a male, you actually have an advantage because people can hear from you in a different way, right? Just like how everybody jumped on the relationship bandwagon. You had all these men jumping into the space of relationships because initially it used to always be from women. And so right now, men in the mental wellness space is very powerful. So how could I turn this? Now, listen, just like I recommend for every single speaker and coach, there are ways you could turn your book into multiple streams of income. And so let's say you create a tribe. What is your tribe going to be called? Merchandise is always an easy way to create another stream of income. On top of having merchandise like t-shirts and hats and things of that nature, having a journal. So while every single one of your chapters are very specific, identifying your why, how much does your help cost, the healer who has been healed. Listen, like you can literally take these chapters and turn them into journaling points. So creating an additional journal that goes along with your book that you can charge anywhere between 20, 40, 50, even up to 100. I actually used to have a workbook that I would create for my clients where I would charge $100 for the workbook. Now with the workbook, when somebody invested, it came with 3 videos that were also instructional videos on how to properly use the workbook. But that was an additional stream of income that I would be able to bring in. Now, again, with the misery loves company, I mean, listen, misery loves company. And so let's switch it into happiness loves company, right? So we want to switch that from misery loves company to happiness. So having, or whatever the opposite of what misery is going to be considered to you, create retreats centered around that, a happiness retreat. I mean, listen, again, like I told you, being a male in this space is so unique. It's always women that are doing retreats. It's always women that are doing, mental wellness, things like that. So having the conversation and even creating opportunities for men and women to come together. I've always said that I wish that more men would come to many of the things that we as women do in the mental wellness space. Why? Because we need to have healthy conversations and understanding of what each one of us is dealing with, because otherwise all we're doing is making assumptions and guessing out here in these streets. So as a male, it would be easier for you to encourage the men to be a part of it. Another thing that I would even recommend, Craig, if you're not already married and you're doing it with your wife, also having a partner that is a female that you guys can work together, because by yourself you can do great things, but together with someone else in the space, it can be amazing. So I definitely see you doing these conferences where we go from misery to defeated, or not defeated, or misery to we've defeated the misery, misery to accomplished, misery to happiness, misery to, and transforming and taking that person to where they wish to be. Again, I'm going to look at this book initially just to see what it's about and then be able to take that into multiple streams. So again, I think that you are on the right path. I would love for you again to update your subtitles so that it gives us a better understanding of what we can expect. You don't need to repeat the same words in your subtitle from your title. That is a misuse of your real estate. I would love for you to have a better high resolution image that's not going to be as pixelated. And then on your back cover, can we increase the font size? You may have to reduce some of the content on the back. That's fine. Add in some qualifier questions, things that are going to grab the attention of that person. I want you to think about it like this, Craig. Somebody somebody right now just went through something that the straw that broke the camel's back, whatever that specific thing is, one person with one specific thing they have gone through, they're literally sitting on the edge of the bed and they are over it. They are in misery and they're saying, I need to do something about it. And then they go to the World Wide Web and they Google, how do I, whatever it is, that straw that broke the camel's back, how do I ... And when they Google it, your book and your program pulls up. I want you to think about who that person is and what they're dealing with, because those are going to be the qualifier questions that you're going to ask. Also, what you want to do is update your back content as far as your contact information. Make sure that we do that. I would even remove maybe the second sentence that says in misery and in company it keeps, we come to realize. Maybe just put a quote in that. I know that you have two different people here that you've quoted. One, I can't really tell where it starts or where it ends. I don't know if this whole thing is about a quote or both of these back here are quotes, but if so, you don't need to include the entire quote. I would just take a sentence, the most powerful portion of those quotes, so that you can enlarge the back cover and then include those qualifier questions, as well as a short synopsis on who the reader should be, what they're going through, and how you're going to help to change their life. All right. Okay, Craig. Well, thank you so much for sending me your book. If you are an author and you would like for me to review your book, make sure you go to visionavantbookreviews.com. Also, for every single person who does that, you go to visionavantbookreviews.com, submit your details. You're going to get invited to my private training where I am also going to break down on my whiteboard. Baby, it's over here. Y'all can't see it because it's off, but I'm going to break down by showing you guys how to turn this into 4 streams of income so that you can build a business that generates over $10,000 a month, working consistently now 2 to 4 hours per day. So go to visionavantbookreviews.com so that you can send me your book as well. I love doing these book reviews. Remember, when you send them to me, please don't autograph, because we are going to be donating them out. I appreciate you, and I pray that your day is full of peace, prosperity, and happiness, and everything in between. Till the next review, I'll holla. Deuces.